And hello, and welcome to GPR. Today's Bahrain, and yeah, I'm just getting everything ready so we can try to have a good stream, and let's just hope it's gonna go well. We are just waiting for the drivers to start, and I think we are missing some people still, so that's what we're waiting for. Today we do no longer have the two top mandatory, and we're actually readying up now as well. So we no longer have the two-stop necessary, which means drivers can now completely choose the strategy again, and it should be a little less chaotic. So about Bahrain. First Grand Prix ever held in Bahrain was 2004. The circuit length is 5.412 kilometers, and the lap record is currently a 131.447, set by Pedro de la Rosa in 2005. We are just waiting for the drivers to choose their preferred tire choice, and there's 3 different sets they can choose between soft, medium, and hard. That means they will get one more soft, medium, or hard tire, respectively. Now that they've done that, we can actually go and start everything up. I'm just gonna get the track map because I can't get that over keybinds, and we should be good to go. No. Okay. Now we can see somebody's already going out. That's Charlotte Perkins. She's already going out and she's on the softs, so she's not going for the fastest interlap. Some people seemingly are gonna try to do that though, and it's just seven is Melon is not racing today, so we will have our first different winner of the season. Until now, every single race has been won by Melon, although Max Fan was close at times. Today, Tim is in the McLaren instead of Melon, and now Wolsey is of course going to try to gain a bit on his championship contender. Currently, top threes: Melon, Wolsey, and Max Fan. Now, let's see what Charlotte Perkins is gonna do on her lap. She goes down towards turn 1 in this not quite yet night of qualifying. Into turn 1, hits the apex decently well there. Into turn 2, you need to hit it here. Turn 3, and in the DRS zone now, gets the backmarking, goes nicely out of the way, brakes pretty early for turn 4, takes the apex very well, does not run too wide at the exit of turn 4, into turn 5, 6 and 7. It's easy to invalidate here, and into turn 8 she goes now. This is all sector 2 of course already, and into this very tricky turn 9 and 10. It's very easy to lock up here, but she's managed to not do that. Second DRS straight now, back straight, going down into turn 11 now. Turn 11, very long, but very easy to take, I'd actually say. Into turn 12, don't take too much inside curb here, otherwise you will spin. And going into turn 13 now, sector 3, second long straight of, well, second or third long straight of this lap. For now, the lap does look very decent indeed, and she now goes to turn 14, and this basically not even a corner, turn 15. DRS for the third and last time, Charlotte Perkins is a 129.9. As SV Alps now actually goes faster than Charlotte Perkins in the kick, even though he's on medium, so that's a very good lap time from him, beating a Williams while being on the worst compound of tire. Excuse me for that little break, I was just having a drink. And as Peak Control Tom is now actually going up into P1 and it's at a 129.1, very much faster than both of the people behind him. Of course, though, also in a better machine. God bless America. Oh no, not America again. Amerima, yeah. Alright. Yes, we now have Maxton with a very special name. Who is most likely the fastest person out of the bunch that is currently still racing and not away. Of course, best car as well. Although Tim has had a very good qualifying in the past, but Max Fan is on top with 127.1. That should be fine to get him into Q2 at least. Yes, we can actually look at Ryan, who's also doing a lap. Let's pull his telemetry up and enjoy it. As someone is spun there, that should be a Williams, so it must be Charlotte Perkins. Yep, Charlotte Perkins is spun trying to improve her lap time. She didn't, and now very much has to go back to the pits and get a new fresh set of tires, because that lap time currently is not looking too good. As Walton F1 in the Haas has gotten a 128.4, which brings out into P2 and far ahead of Peace Control Tom, as Max Fan has now confidence retired as well, and Numbers also set a very good lap time of 127.9. If we are lucky, we will also get a second commentator for the race today, but that is not 100% sure yet. Let's look at Volsey. Volsey, closest person to beating the McLarens, currently in P2 Drivers' Championship. And today is a very good chance for him to score some points on his rival. Because, of course, Max Van Mellon is away today. So that is most likely his best option of getting some points. Gaining some points on the McLaren without having to fight them directly. As we see, McLaren also got out of the way. That's very good and does not impede them. Numbers is focuser. I'm most likely just gonna continue to call them Numbers because I can't remember names very well. But I'll try. Thank you. because Canotti's team in the standings not first, and it should be first. So Tim is at the fastest lap with 1:27, flat almost, and that is a couple of percent in front of his teammate. So he should also be fine to get out of Q1. Shouldn't be any kind of problem. Seemingly, Wolsey actually getting a purple middle sector. I'm not sure if that is true, but we'll see about that. So, Wolsey goes up into P2. That's seemingly having actually gotten the middle sector purple. That might be a problem in the race later, but we will see. Let's look at someone that might actually also get themselves up a bit. STRA. Straw. Yet to set a lap time, and it's actually on medium, so should really get a lap time in quickly to maybe go again if the lap doesn't work out. Going very, very close to the inside barrier, that doesn't really help, but most likely with the enemies he's facing, it should be fine. They should not be too difficult to beat, in the Mercedes at least. SCRA apparently setting a purple first sector. I don't think I believe that, but game's out. Tim is also confidence retired with a very fast lap time. Yeah, I don't think he needs any faster. As a Red Bull actually kind of blocks. And that should be the Red Bull of Joseph. And yeah, it was the Red Bull of Jesus, but let's hope he doesn't get reported for that one. Yes, we've got STRA almost done with his lap, going into the second last and now last corner. What's it gonna be? The deploy is already used quite early. It's only a 1:28.6. He will have to go out again. There's two people that haven't even set a lap time yet. He will have to go out once more. As now we see and we look at the lap of Joseph, who's also not set a lap time yet. With 3 minutes to go, this will most likely be his last lap time that he's setting this session. Actually, not most likely, it will be the last lap time he's setting. As Joseph goes into sector 3 now, and it's going very close to the white lines, and he does not want to get this lap invalid, because this will be his last. Also, I have been told that Bobby might spice some things up at the front with him not being known as the cleanest drivers, so we will see about that one as well. As Joseph only goes P11, I don't think this is enough for Q3, Q2. I don't think this is gonna be enough for Q2. Actually, well, looking at the lap times of the last few cars, it might also just be enough. As actually Charles Perkins up by 4 tenths on a lap. What's gonna put it? It's gonna put only P15, 129.1. And that means last few cars that can actually beat her, both Astons. As we upped on his most likely last lap, yeah, it is going to be his last lap of Q1, and let's see what's it going to be. And SV Apps is now going to go over the line to get himself up into P10, and that is going to be enough to get him out of Q1. So it's only going to be now Charlotte Perkins and Old Master Matt. Old Master Matt having not even done a lap yet. Charlotte Perkins, first of all, though, is going to be over the line first. So, and she has in fact invalidated, so it is only Old Master Matt that can change in position now. At least in grid position. Now, let's see what is going to do. As Rand Preven, I think it was, improved his position. And everyone is just waiting for Old Master Matt to finish his lap. And going over the last curb of his lap. Up to the finish line. What's it gonna be? I didn't see, but I think he's out. Yep, 17th for Old Master Matt. Him being last. So, knocked out in the end are Charles Perkins in the Williams and Old Master Matt in the Kick Sauber. With actually quite a large gap to everybody else as well. Old Master Matt, almost 4 tenths to the next guy in front of him, which is Charles Perkins, who's actually also gotten a big gap to the car in front, almost 5 tenths. Red Bull is through into Q2, of course. Yep, it is, and it hasn't. They have in fact beaten 2 backmarker teams. Max Fan actually will go out. And Tim is going to most likely be the first one to start his lap. The McLaren reserve. Actually, nope, it's not gonna be Tim. It is gonna be Volsey that is gonna be the first one to... No, not Volsey, sorry, Jamie. Jamie, that is gonna be the first one to start his lap. Although that start did not look optimal. I don't really know what's going on right now, but I think Tim's just stuck behind Jamie, or is he just getting a tow? For a tow, he should be a bit further behind, but I guess we'll never know. As Tim's actually got a bit of a slide, so that means he's lost some time again to Jamie, and he's going to gain that time back now on the back straight with the DRS and, of course, slipstream. So let's see who's gonna have the fastest lap time of those two at the front, and who's actually profited from them driving so close towards with each other. It is Tim, although it's not the fastest lap time ever. It is a 1:27.5 for Tim and a 1:27.8 for Jamie. And Focuser has got P3, P4 goes to Tom, and P5 to Mr. Mine. SV Ups currently has P6, as now Adonis actually goes into P5, pushing Mr. Mine and SV Ups down. Let's see, does anyone else on the lap right now? Yep, Joseph on the lap and going over the line. What's it gonna be? A 1:29 only. Oh. Beaten by a kick. Now, that's Mercedes going over the line. SDRA finally showing some pace in the Mercedes car, and going up into P1 by 1:27.5. As I think Wildstorm of 1 is also doing his lap. Nope, it is invalidated in fact. But although Mr. Mine seems to be going again for his lap now, and let's see, will Max Fan maybe? As we actually see a kick in the background, getting out of the way for not Rita, for Max Fan. Max Fan now going into sector 3, finishing his lap. He's gonna want to get a very good position as well. He will not want to go again if everything goes right. And it kinda does, but it could have been going better, and it is a 1:28.095 only. That puts him up into P4, the McLaren. McLaren have been up higher before, of course, as well. So I think someone that we can look at right now is Wildstorm, who is now going to finish this lap. going through turn, I think it was 15, and going over the line with a 128.5. Puts him in P8 currently, although he will struggle to go into Q3. Amos is now going to go over the line, and it's going to be pole position, provisional pole position of 126.27.2. Very good lap from the Red Bull. Yes, now Brenton is gonna also finish his lap, and it is gonna put him into P10 with 128.5. As now somebody has improved as well. I don't know who it is, unfortunately. It is a McLaren. That should be Volzi, who got himself up to P. And not a McLaren. It should be a Ferrari. That is Volzi, who's got himself up to P2. Set a 127.4. Very good lap from him as well. Close to the front. So everything should be fine with that. Let's see, maybe somebody like Tim is going to get us a very good lap time here. As Tim now starts his lap very, very close to the pit wall. It does look like he's brushing it. Very extreme. He is taking these corners with absolute perfection and managing to stay within the track limits while doing so. That is a very, very good performance from Tim so far. He will, as it's looking like, most likely destroy Amos's lap time. But we will see. So what's it going to be? It is going to be P1 with a 126.8. I'd go so far as to say that is everything. As now, Max Fan is also going to start his lap. You were looking at a RB pole, but no, Tim has in fact set a very, very quick lap time, so it's most likely just going to be an RB P2 or 3 for now. Max Van Having actually got a little bit of an oversteer, so he might lose a couple of tenths, but that should still be able to get him up into a very decent position this lap. Through the last 3 corners, he takes those very well, and deploy used just before the straight. It seems like everybody's doing that, and it's actually just a 1:26.7. That is a incredibly good lap time, so I don't think that's being beaten for now. Maybe Tim can do something against it, but not for now. As Bobby has retired as well in P3, Confidence retired. Same for Tim. Both of them thinking they've done enough and don't need to do another lap. As Ryan actually is on his first lap of Q2. So as Adonis is also retired, so Adonis does not think that he can do anything more to improve his lap. Let's see what Ryan's lap gonna be, and if he's gonna get up into higher than P10, or P10 at least. Yes, he will, and it is P8 for him, and a 1:27.9. That could theoretically be enough, but I don't think it will. The gap is just too small. Actually, currently leading that train seems to be Jamie, but on a lap seems to be Joseph. Joseph? Nope, he's not on a lap. So, actually, the first one on a lap was in fact Wildstorm, who is seemingly trying his best to get the most out of that Haas car, and I don't think he will get himself out of Q2, but at least in a good position maybe. Over the line, and it is P11, so he is essentially the first confirmed out car, along with Mr. Mine. Mr. Mine also having retired. I don't know why, but I think it might be because he got disconnected. I think. I'm just gonna ask for an nope. SV Apps is also retired, so seemingly both of them don't think they will improve. Banter Brandon is gonna have to improve as well. P13 only. As Wildstorm has also in fact retired, so he seemingly also has enough. He does not think he's gonna go any higher than, actually, yeah, he's already done his lap, I forgot. So let's see what Banter is gonna do. P12, that's him out. Only improved 1 position. So Mercedes of Banter is out. Alright, so let's look at all the people eliminated from this session. So there's Ryan in the Aston Martin, Banter Brandon in the Mercedes, Wallstrom of 1 in the Haas, Mr. Mine in the Aston, and SV Abst in the Kick Sauber. Gaps are 2 seconds at maximum for the eliminated and 1.2 at minimum. Grid is very close together still, just that the top few are in fact 5/10 away from P3. First one is going to be Max Fan, that is going to set a lap time today. So Max Fan is going to start his lap while going very close to the barrier and start moving over to the side for turn 1, going into turn 2 and 3. Both those are very tricky corners, but he's mastered them very well. Onto the second DRS straight. This has been a pretty decent lap. I wouldn't say it's quite as good as his Q2 lap, but it should still be enough to keep him at the front for a bit. It is actually a 26.9, so not quite as good, but still very much respectable. As actually Volzy most likely on brand new tires, and has set a 1:26.8. Very fast lap time from Wolsey. And Adonis, actually no, first of all, Tim setting a 1:27.45, and Adonis behind him setting a 1:27.419. Of course, that's way slower than the guys ahead, but Adonis is also in first. I guess slow car. Now, Bobby is gonna go through the last corner. Bobby has not taken anybody out yet, so Bobby is gonna finish this lap and only get him up into P4 of a 1:27.078. He has done faster, but for now, at least it's acceptable. Most likely everybody's gonna go into the pits for now and wait until the last few minutes where the track is at its best, just so they can get that slight advantage. And now we wait. We wait until the first people go out again. Now everybody is gonna go into the pit lane and wait until the correct time to go out. As Bobby has apparently lost 2/10 in his last corner, which would explain his sudden loss of speed. That would have brought him up into P2, most likely. Or possibly even close to P1. Alright, now there's a Ferrari going out. Is it Volsey or is it Jamie? It seems to be Jamie. First person to go out today. In this last few runs that are also important for Q3. As Adonis has decided to retire, Adonis does not think he's going to be able to improve on his current time, so that is it of him. Jamie, now going towards the start finish line to start his final run of Q3. Everything to play for. As Jamie is now going to go into Sector 2 and soon will finish his lap. Sector 3 now, the last few corners of his lap, and they will decide everything. I think it is most likely going to be that Jamie's not going to try and give Volsey a good slipstream as well, so Volsey can actually do something against the cars ahead. Jamie over the line, P6 with 126.5. That's his lap done. Now let's go and look at the next person we can. First of all, Jamie cut the corner there, but I think that should be all fine. That should be an Mercedes, that the next person. STRA should be the next one to cross the line and actually set a lap time. STRA about to enter Sector 3 and has now done so. Apparently setting the purple middle sector, although every sector I think has been purple so far. So STRA now. STRA is going to go on the main straight, accelerating down this very long straight, full ERS, everything, DRS, ERS, and it is only P5. 127.3 STRA's lap time. Now, Peace Control Tom set a P8 lap time, and as now Max Fan has in fact set personal best pole position, Tim did not beat him. 127.5 for Tim only. Now Volsey is gonna go 0.3 up, 1.3 tenths up. That's not gonna be enough, and it isn't. So, top three seemingly currently Max Fan, Volsey, and Tim. Although Bobby might be able to do something here, because apparently Bobby has lost a couple of tenths. So Bobby might get into the top three here. Bobby's now going to go through the last few corners of his lap. Everything down this one straight, and he does in fact get Tim, but no one else. Tim being pushed down to P4, Bobby moving up into P3. So that is final order of the drivers. Nobody else will set a competitive lap time today anymore. We are just waiting for STRA to go into the pits and therefore end Q3. So Max Fan takes pole position with a 126.637, and Volsey is in fact behind him, getting on his championship contender hopefully in the race, and it's got a 126.7. So Final order is Max Fan in front of Volsey, Amos Bobby, Tim, STRA, Jesus, Adonis, Jamie, Focuser, and Peace Control, Tom. Both Alpines actually being in Q3 for once, and that's same goes for both Red Bulls. Let's see, were there any incidents? Any little bad incidents? Any collision warnings? Nope. Only speeding in the pit lane and exceeded track limits. Now we're just waiting for the drivers to select the strategy and select how much fuel they want to take, and then sometimes also make minor setup adjustments like tire pressures or front wing angles, and then we will go. It's actually taking quite a while, but as now, there's 5 lights on ahead of the drivers, and it's go. Maxvan is now actually having a great start, and Maxvan has kept the lead. In the background there's a bit of carnage with a Haas, but Maxvan is now in the lead still, and Volsey's going to try to go around the outside of him. It hasn't worked. Volsey stays behind Maxvan. In the background though, there's loads of fighting between STRA and now actually Amos Bobby going past Volsey as well. Volsey definitely did not want to expect that. Wildstorm of 1 is having a nightmare start as well, and Amos Bobby has in fact overtaken Volsey. Volsey now being down to P3. Great start also from Banta Brennan, who's made up 4 positions already. SV ups as well, 5 positions up into P10 for him. Focuser lost loads of positions though, seemingly something happened to him as well, and top few are also already splitting out quite a bit. As we see Max defending from Amos Bobby and trying his best to just stay ahead of him for now. Bobby of course got that DRS advantage though, and I think it's only going to be a short amount of time until Max is at least passed for a short period of time. As STRA has actually already lost the connection to Volsey as well, so he's outside of the second. He's going to also be a mobile roadblock. Something similar also has happened to Charles Perkins, who was down in P16, 2.4 seconds back from P15, or what's it called again? The Focuser. Right. Max Fein saying fast lap, although Bobby is directly still behind him, and same for Wolsey. All three of them are within 1 second of each other. As Joseph actually got past Tim now, who's also got past STRA, so they are scrabbling for position, and currently, seemingly Joseph coming out in front. Very good race for Red Bull so far. You can really see the top three pulling away from the rest of the grid, with Joseph currently now being the leader of this train. As there's actually a third train forming as well, with Old Master Matt, who's also lost access to the front train. So Old Master Matt also being slow enough to make his own little fun train. Let's see, I've got the feeling there's going to be some terrorism happening here, so I will, in fact, continue looking and see if he's just going to let people pass. To be fair, he seemingly is doing that, as Walsim of 1 has got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting and speeding in the pit lane as well, so that was most likely going to be him retiring. Yep, it is. So Walsim of 1 has in fact retired from the session. So that is the first retirement. 16 people are left, and we will see what those people are gonna do. As Tim is actually leading the second train, pulling away a bit as well, although it will not be enough, right for now at least, to stay ahead of everybody, clear of the DRS. Seemingly Volsey right now just trying to stay with this front train as well. Just as there's actually a couple of fights going on at the front as well. Just some DRS trading as expected, and Max Fein is now leading again, although both of the cars behind him are on, I guess, better tires for the long run. As there's a little fight going on as well between SV Ups and Ryan. Ryan on the outside now, that will turn through the inside though. SV Ups squeezing Ryan a bit, but Ryan is gonna come through as the leader of both of them. Although I don't really know why you would fight in this count train. You aren't gonna gain a lot of positions if you do, but I guess it's the driver's decision. Let's see, maybe Focuser is going to do something here. Nope, it does not look like it. It very much doesn't look like Focuser is going to do anything. For now at least. So let's go back and focus on the front three. You can actually see as well that Tim is already almost broken three off Joseph, but Joseph does still have the DRS, which means he'll just gain back all the time he lost. Bolsey has overtaken Max Fan now. Max Fan now going on P2, although Max Fan might be able to counter but attack him right here. And he's going to go to the inside line, and Max Fan is ahead. SDRA has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that is not something he wants, especially not after just 6 laps. As they're actually going 3 wide almost, SV Ups also getting 3-second time penalty. And this train has just ran off the other train now. So they're actually still going side by side as well, and I think SV Ups is going to be staying ahead of Tom for now at least. And yes, he is. Joseph has in fact lost the DRS to Tim as well, at least for now, and I don't think he'll get it back. So Tim's now on his own, trying to chase down those top 3. Jamie is most likely also going to try to join him and overtake Joseph as quickly as possible. As that was a very bad line from Jamie, although Jamie might still have a chance on Joseph, who's used up all of his battery, and that is going to be a very easy pass for him. And Jamie is ahead before the braking zone even starts, and he's most likely not going to try and just do the same that Tim did and just run away from Joseph. Mr. Mine also fighting with Focuser and losing the place to Focuser, so it's now Adonis, Focuser, and Mr. Mine in that order. Ryan also fighting with Joseph now. Joseph losing loads of position, seeming not being able to gain the pace and get on the pace, and Ryan's now going to overtake Joseph as well. That is helping Jamie, who's already outside of the DRS, as we actually see SDRA also, I think it is. Or is it Banter? It's Banter. Banter being pushed wide a bit, but still managing the, I think it was the overtake on SV Ups. As SV Ups is actually going to try and scare him into giving some more room there. And it did not work out for him, so he will have to stay behind him for now. There's some more DRS games at the front, although it does look like the front pack is just going to stay like this for a few more laps until Maxman will have to pit, and then we'll see what's going to happen. Jamie, in fact, did not have the pace to run away, so he's now going to be in some problems as well. He's most likely going to have not a lot of ERS left, yes, exactly, and that's going to not be ideal for him while having to defend off other people. Peace Control Tom also having broken 3 from the train. The train slowly splitting up into smaller and smaller pieces of 2 cars each. As STRA and SV Ups have already both pitted as well, and that's of course gonna help them for later. As you can see, loads of hards, mediums and softs. It's a very big mix of tires, and Tim actually being on the hard tire might help him a lot for the end. So now he can go longer than the other people, and he's just gonna get faster compared to them. As now, Banter's also pitting, and let's see what tire set he's going to go for. It seems to be the hard tire, so hard tires are fitted on the Mercedes car. Very nice stop, perfect release, and he's now also going to come out behind own Masamet. Actually, no, also behind Charlotte and most likely also behind SV Ups then. Let's see, where is he gonna exactly come out? He's gonna come out next to his teammate. Oh, yep, he is. And actually directly between his teammate and SV Ups. Very good spot. His teammate's not gonna hold him up a lot, I hope at least. And yeah. As we have lots of fight with Ryan and Jigsaw seemingly having made a mistake and loads of positions and time. So now he's only up to P7 Red Bull, and Jamie's got the DRS, Ryan doesn't, so that helps to split that train out a bit more again, and they stay in the order of Jamie, Ryan and Joseph. Bobby and Wolsey actually having broken away now because Max Fan is now pitting. Max Fan pitting for medium tires and actually having quite a long pit stop compared to what I've seen with Banter, but he is in fact being released and he's now going to try to push towards Wolsey and aim as Bobby again. He's going to try to lose as little time as possible. He's just going to try to get back up to the front. Front two now on their own. Most likely just going to try to build the gap to Tim, or at least keep the gap to Tim, so he doesn't get a threat as well. And that's most likely all they will do. Joseph still behind Jamie, and Ryan actually having pitted now, and behind STRA and Banter, they are forming another train as well. The feeling something funny might happen with Almost Man and Maxman. Maxman being a bit stop ahead of him now, and he's gonna have to pass him through this tricky sector. He's not gonna have to lose too much time though, I think, because of the long straight going up now, and Old Masameda is just gonna let him pass, and that is quite unspectacular, but fair. Actually, nope. Maxman is gonna stay back behind him just to get the DRS on him as well, so Old Masameda can't counter-attack him. Although he is trying to, he is failing because Maxman just has the superior top speed. As there's actually Amos Bobby. You can see how important that overtake was. Amos Bobby going out directly behind Maxman, and both of them having DRS just thanks to Alm. Otherwise, Maxman would have lost this, and is actually now also overtaking Volsey, who's just pitted for the hard tire as well. So this is just a three-way fight again now, and both of them going side by side now. That is going to help Maxman immensely. Maxman will now just have the better tires for them for the half this lap, and will just have them warmed up already, which means he is going to try to push away a bit, and he's also already got 7/10 almost, no 6/10 now, although I think now it's certain that he's not going to push away. Nice, we have the Williams of Charles Buchan in the way as well. SDRA is going to get past her as quickly as possible, and the same for Ryan. Let's see how quickly they're going to get past. So SDRA going to go down the inside. He's thinking about it, and he's got 90% battery, so he's got a lot of battery to burn in case of him messing up a bit. Now he's going to go down the inside of her, and that should be quite an easy overtake. What is Ryan going to do though? Will Ryan try and also, as I just see actually, they're still going side by side, Charles Buckins and STRA, although STRA is now finally ahead. Ryan's now going to try and get Charles Buckins as well. Charles Buckins of course in the Williams, much slower car, and that should be an easy overtake for him. Meanwhile, Tim also doing a very good stint and keeping the pace up, trying to pressurize the group of Bobby, Max Fan and Volsey, although Volsey has in fact dropped out of the second, and I think that's gonna be his race done. I don't think he's gonna be able to catch back up, so I think we've just lost someone from a three-way fight, and that someone will be Volsey. Volsey going into the hard tires has not worked out for him. Charlotte Perkins is now slowly being overtaken by everybody. She's kind of holding them up and bunching them back together. And we slowly have now a train forming again. As Bobby has set the fastest lap of the race, meanwhile Max Fan is in fact also overtaking him once again. Get more DRS and they will just push away from Volsey now. As we actually have a three-wide moment down the main straight, and everybody trying to get Charlotte Perkins, but seeming to just have the confidence to make that move. Although Joseph has ghosted through Charlotte Perkins now, and Peace Control Thomas are going to try and go down the inside of her as well, and that should be quite an easy move. I don't think she'll be too aggressive with that one. And Charlotte Perkins actually getting collected by SW Ups and sent into the barrier. That is not a great move from SW Ups, and I'm pretty sure he will be punished for that one. He essentially collected her rear end and sent her into the barrier. Charlotte Perkins now most likely with front wing damage as well, and knowing her, she's also going to be very angry. I guess annoyed would be a better sentence putting it. Focuser is currently in P2, and Adonis directly behind him. Adonis will most likely now get him, and they're, as far as I know, just trading DRS with each other constantly. Same for the two people behind them. That's AMS Bobby and Retard, or Max Fan, and both of them are currently in a very good position to win this race, and it currently does look like the only one that could challenge them is Tim. As we see, they've now run up to those two people, and they're going to try and have to get around them as quickly as possible. They don't want Volsey to be back in this fight, so they're going to now go down the inside in this tricky tricky sector 3 now, and it's worked out for Bobby, so Bobby's most likely going to try and instantly overtake Adonis as well now down this straight, while Max Fan is still behind Focuser and Max Fan being very close to each other, though both of Bobby and Max Fan doing the same move simultaneously, and Max Fan most likely going to try and go just with Bobby, and he's done so. So that is Bobby and Max Fan ahead of Adonis and Focuser. Focuser now falling behind. Adonis actually managing to keep up with Max Fan for now. That's gonna help them quite a lot in their pace, and they've got they at least have one more DRS before they dropped out. Although now they are dropped out and will most likely fall back down to the normal pace once again. I don't think that Bobby is trying to pit again, and Tim hasn't even pitted yet. And he's got 11 seconds of time difference, so that's gonna be quite close at the end if he's actually got that great pace that he showed in Q2. You want to see the tires? Yes, sure. So everybody on hard tires apart from Charles Perkins, who's pitted 1 lap ago, Max Fan, who's pitted 6 laps ago, and aim as Bobby, who's pitted 5 laps ago, aim as Bobby and Max Fan being on medium tires and Charles Perkins being on softs. Everybody else on the hard tires. 15 laps run by Adonis and Focuser and Tim. As Voltzi is now going to try and overtake Adonis and Focuser, and seemingly having ghosted into them now, and Voltzi is currently still failing to overtake them. He needs to get past them as soon as possible, and for now it's not looking great, although he has now overtaken Adonis and is now most likely going to get Focuser now on the 3rd DRS straight. He's going to try and go around the outside of this corner here. That is a very tricky move. I wouldn't advise doing that. Nope. He's going to stick behind him and use the DRS now. DRS going to help him to overtake and most likely get outside of the DRS zone on the start-finish straight as well. Although they are still side by side and he's being pushed wide a bit actually. They're still side by side, and finally Voltzi's now got Focuser. Focuser will stay within the DRS of Voltzi. It's just going from bad to worse for Voltzi personally. As Charlie Perkins seemingly has in fact crashed and is out of the sessions. That means Own Master Matt is now the last car on the circuit and is in P15. P15, last person that is still on the circuit. And let's just go to P3 and see where Charlotte is. I couldn't see her unfortunately. She just then disappeared, and that means we'll never know what happened, at least in this stream. Although Focuser is actually staying with Voltzi for now, as and is going to get the DRS for what will most likely be one last time, and that will have helped them both as well, quite a lot actually, and actually, he is still staying with him somehow. Focuser is still staying with Voltzi. Wolsey seemingly having very bad pace for now, as Bobby has left the session. Do I have Bobby as a friend? Let's see. Bobby. Unfortunately, I don't think I do. So that is unfortunately Bobby most likely gonna be out outside of this winning chance now. Bobby is actually back in the lobby though, and will most likely now take back control of his car, while having lost just about 1 point, more like 2 seconds now. Let's see, when is he going to be able to rejoin? Will he still be able to retake control of his car even? Volsey's almost caught up to him as well. Although he is now back, Volsey has almost caught up. He's now 3.3 seconds back, Bobby, and that is him most likely going to be out of contention for the race. When Tim is now also pitted. It's on soft tires for the last 10 laps. You see on the map the gap that he has to close. I highly doubt he'll be able to manage it, and but I'd be surprised to see him not try at least. Volsey has in fact now caught back up to Bobby, so Volsey and Bobby are most likely going to try and help each other. Nope, Bobby is pitting, and yeah, he has pitted twice on mediums as far as I know, and those are hard tires for 9 laps. I'm not sure that that is the right decision. I think that is one of the worst decisions ever. And I think he should have just tried to go on softs and not hards. That is him outside of this contention, and he will no longer go for the win. That is sure for sure. He will most likely just try and get some points now, when he could have had the win. So now it's looking like Max Fan is now leading with a comfortable gap in front of Volsey, and Focuser is 6 seconds behind Volsey. Tim is directly behind him already, so I think Tim's going to have a very good chance at winning this race in the McLaren actually. He's gained loads of time already, and I don't think it's going to be difficult for him to catch up to them anymore and overtake, although his tires might die at the end, so he might struggle to overtake them at the end, which is going to help Max Fan, but I don't think it's going to help Volsey all too much, because 6 seconds are very easy when you're setting a 1:29.8 in the race. As Focuser has also now pitted. That was the last person to pit. 21 laps he did on hard tires. Very, very good job from him for doing that. And I also don't know what's going on with STRA right now. And STRA usually is much faster, but seemingly he's struggling quite a lot. Volsey's actually gaining on Max Fan now, and Tim, meanwhile, is gaining on both of them. So all of the top 3 are closing back up to each other at this point. Top 4, P4, is currently still disputed between Jamie, Banter, and Ryan. All 3 of them still fighting within a second of each other, and everything can still happen in this race. Volsey has effect. Now overtaken Max Fan, who is pitting as well. that is not a good decision. He's now going to fall back behind all of the other cars, which means Volty is now alone with Tim and Jamie. Jamie, of course, will try and hold other cars that are threats to him back as far as possible. So now there's Bobby and Max Finn once again, although Max Finn actually has the correct tire. It's only 4 seconds now, less than 4, so Volty is now most likely gonna be overtaken by Tim. And that's gonna be his race, his chances of winning the race gone. His only real chance now is then that Tim will take a while to overtake him, and his tires will fall off at the end. That is his only real chance of still winning this race. Let's look at tires once more. Tires. Most people are on hard tires, and some are on soft. Adon is on softs, and Focuser is on softs. Max Finn, of course, is on softs, and Tim is on softs. Tim only on 4 lap old softs for now, and I think it's going to take a couple more laps for them to actually wear down a lot. Although his advance has slowed down at least. As friend Focuser is being given a 3-second time penalty for cutting the track 3 different times. As Max Finn is actually getting past some people now, going around the outside of that tricky corner. Careful not to touch the inside curve there too much, otherwise he will spin, and he's ahead. Although this might be being a bad decision because Joseph can actually get him back on the main straight if Max Finn is not careful. Although Max Finn does have tiny bit more ERS, and he should be fine with that traction out of the last corner. I don't think Joseph is going to do anything against him for now. Although Joseph does show himself, he has not gone for it. So it's going to be Volty versus Tim for the win, and the rest is basically undecided. As Tim made a bit of a mistake, and because of that I think he might not be able to get into the DRS yet for the main straight. Nope, he will not, so he's gonna have to wait one more straight until he gets that all-important DRS, and he might not actually get it. Nope, he will not, most likely not get the DRS the second straight either, so he's gonna have to wait either until the middle sector or until next lap, which is perfect for Volty. Volty wants this to be exactly like this, and that he just has the control over when Tim's gonna get the DRS, because as long as Tim does not have it, he will just burn his tires, and that's gonna just make him slide more and more and do stuff like we just saw. And of course, it's getting frustrating for him as well, and he's gonna try and push. And I think what Volty was trying to do is just make him over push. Although Tim is now within the DRS, and I don't think Volty gonna do anything against it, as Joseph has got a 3-second time penalty for himself as well. ERB and P8, and that would, if unlucky, put him into P10. As we now have almost met, I think, off the circuit as well. And although he seemingly has recovered as well, so everything should be fine with that. As we are now looking towards Tim, getting ever so closer in Volty's mirrors, and I think Volty already knows that it's gonna be it. That's gonna be it, and Tim will pass him before the end of this race. Tim's incredibly close to Volty now, although Volty is now using some of his battery that he has saved in the last sector, so he can stay ahead for now. And Volty's most likely gonna just try to do it on a basis so he can just use have as much tire left at the end as possible compared to Tim. Tim of course will have burned his tires over the last few laps, and we can actually look 7 lap old softs. They of course will not be as quick anymore as they were when they were brand new, and you can see that he's losing time in the traction zones now. So the question is just if Tim can somehow find an opportunity to just get past Volty, because he wants it. He wants that win, and Volty of course also does. And for now, everything's looking like he's not finding any pace, as Max Fan has now gotten past Jamie. Jamie is now down to P4 and off the podium places for now, and I don't think he'll be seeing those places again. As Volty is in fact staying ahead of Tim, even though being on way older tires, seemingly enough to hold him off for now. As Focuser's also overtaken Adonis for P10, and him of course being on soft tires. Adonis having pitted earlier on the softs, so him overtaking 3 seconds of course will be added though. And as Tim now makes the move down the inside and is ahead of Volty now. Is Volty going to try and counter him though? Yes, he is. He's got way more ERS. He's not going to try and go along the outside with him, although now he's going to try to brake a bit earlier and get him in this tricky middle sector. He's not going to be behind him though, and that is pretty much it as far as I think. Although Tim has not gained any kind of time, so this is actually not over yet. Volty can still do something against him. Volsy for now staying behind and saving that all-important ERS. Both of them have loads of ERS saved up for the last lap of the race. This last lap is gonna be crucial. This last lap is gonna be fun and hopefully epic. Both of them directly behind each other. It's completely undecided for now who's gonna win this race. As we now head towards the last lap of this 29 lap Bahrain Grand Prix, with Volsy now overtaking for the start and Tim staying behind, most likely trying to get that second, and Ryan retiring on the last corner of the second last lap for him, and that's most likely the incident. Although now Volsy is gonna defend from Tim. Tim's gonna go down the inside of him though. Volsy is gonna hang it around the outside. He's still there, they're bumping wheels, and they are going side by side through the middle sector. Now, they've collided and both crashed out. Volsy is now gonna try and get back on the circuit earlier though. Volsy has in fact gotten on the circuit earlier. Tim is now 1.2 seconds behind him. That's gonna be it for Volsy. Volsy will most likely win this race. And I wonder who's going to be given fault for that one. Volsy gets a 10-second time penalty for now from the game. So we'll see if that is actually what's going to happen, or if it's going to be someone else's fault. That would drop Volsy down into P3, although I'm going to assume that he's going to remove that 10-second. So, Volsy now, through the last corner of this Grand Prix for him, with a 10-second time penalty though, but Volsy is gonna win his race in a Ferrari. Tim gonna finish second, although it's gonna be promoted up to first, and Max Finn, after a very difficult strategy, is gonna be promoted. Nope, he's not. Up to P3. Jamie finishes in P4. Banter, P5. P6 for Bobby. P7 for Joseph, although Tom is now going to get P7, actually. Adonis, P8. P9 for Joseph. Focuser is going to get P10. Mr. Mine is going to get P11. And P12 is going to go to STRA. SV Apps is going to get P13. And Own Master Mad got P14. We are just waiting for SV Apps to finish. So we see the podium celebration for Tim, who is going to finish ahead of Volsy and Max Fan. So, at the end, it's going to be Tim in front of Volsy and Max Fan. Jamie Dodge got P4, P5 goes to Banter Bradden. P6 will go to Amos Bobby. P7 is going to go to Peace Control Tom. P8 is going to go to Adonis. P9 is going to go to Joseph. P10 to Focuser. P11 is going to go to Mr. Mine. P12 to SDRA, P13 to SV Abst, and P14 to OM. DNF'd. Ryan, although he is still classified as finished, and Charlie Perkins DNF'd on track, and Wildstorm F1 retired in the pit lane. Thank you for watching today's stream, and I'm gonna say bye bye.